When I didn't want to take my nephew to the airport at 4 a.m., my brother called me useless in front of the whole family. I'd been letting him stay in my basement for free. That night, I came home and found my TV gone and my laptop missing. He said I took what you owed me. I called the police. My parents called me cruel. I moved out of state. Last month, he showed up at my door with a black eye and a baby. Let me tell you how one person's greed ruined a family. Mine. I'm 38 now, but this started when I was 34 and living in Akron, Ohio. I had a decent life. Quiet, predictable. I had a small 2-bedroom house I inherited from my aunt, and I worked maintenance at a community college nearby. I wasn't rich, but I was stable. I liked that. Then my older brother, Wayne, came crashing into it. Wayne was always the family favorite. Our parents still treated him like the golden child even though he hadn't held a steady job in years. He got divorced after his wife caught him cheating with some bartender and she kicked him out. He had nowhere to go, so guess where he ended up? Right? My place. I didn't want to say no. I felt bad for his son, Drew, who was 17 and about to start his last year of high school. They needed help. So I let them move into my basement. No rent, no bills, nothing. I bought groceries, paid utilities, and even let Wayne use my car sometimes. He never said thanks. Ever. Months went by. He didn't look for work. He didn't help with anything. He just watched TV all day, smoked on the porch, and complained about how unfair life was. Drew was quiet and respectful, and honestly, I felt bad for him. That kid didn't ask for any of it. But Wayne? He acted like I owed him something. Then came that October night that flipped everything. Wayne knocked on my door at 9 p.m. I was already in bed since I had to work a double the next day. Hey, he said, can you take Drew to the airport tomorrow? His flight's at 6:30. I said no. I had to be at work early. I was tired. I offered to pay for a rideshare, even. He didn't argue. Just gave me this look like I was a disappointment. Then he walked away. At dinner that night, our parents had come up to visit for the weekend. Wayne made a comment that still echoes in my head. He looked right at me, then said to everyone, must be nice to be useless and still sleep like a baby. No one said a thing. My mom looked down. My dad chuckled. I looked at my plate and didn't say a word. I couldn't believe he said that, after all I'd done for him. But I let it go. I told myself not to start a fight. Next day, after a brutal 13-hour shift, I came home to find my front door unlocked. My living room TV, gone. My laptop, gone. Drawers open. My office messed up. My closet had shirts thrown around like someone had been digging through them. I checked the cameras. He knew where they were. He had unplugged them. I called him. He actually answered. He didn't even sound nervous. I took what you owed me, he said, calm as ever. Rent, food, car use. We're even. I froze. You stole from me, I said. I took what was mine, he said. You're lucky I didn't take more. I hung up and called the police. They arrested him that night. He had some of my stuff still in his car, and the pawn shop he'd gone to had already flagged the laptop when I reported the serial number. My mom showed up the next day crying on my porch. My dad stayed in the car. She said I was cruel, that I ruined my brother's life over some TV. She said I was heartless, that family forgives, that we were raised better than this. I didn't even argue. I let her scream. Then I told her to leave. That night, I packed a bag. I quit my job 2 days later and moved to Colorado to stay with my cousin while I started over. I cut off contact with most of my family, changed my number, got a new job, met someone. Life was quiet again. Fast forward 4 years. I'm in Boulder now, own a home. I've got a new job, a few good friends, and peace. I hadn't heard from Wayne or anyone in my family in all that time, and I was fine with that. Then last month it happened. It was a Friday evening, around 6 p.m. I was just getting ready to order dinner when the doorbell rang. I checked the camera. It was Wayne. I almost didn't open the door, but I did. He looked like he'd been dragged through hell. Black eye, busted lip, dirty clothes, skinny, older somehow. He was holding a baby. He looked at me like I was the last person on earth. Please, he said. I didn't know where else to go. I didn't say anything at first. I just stood there staring at him. Him and that baby. Wrapped in a thin blanket, clinging to his chest, cheeks red from the cold. It was early April, but it still dropped below 40 at night here. Wayne looked broken. Not just tired or sad broken. Like life had chewed him up and spit out whatever was left. He didn't wait for an invite. He stepped in. I just need a place for the night, he said quickly. I'll be out tomorrow. I swear. I've got nowhere else. I held my hand up. Stop. What the hell are you doing here? How'd you find me? He looked down at the baby and then back at me. I tracked you through Drew. He found you on Facebook last year. Look, I know what I did was wrong. I do. I've had time to think. To suffer. I couldn't believe he had the nerve. Is that your kid? I asked. He nodded. Yeah. Her name's Lily. She's mine. Where's her mom? Gone, he said. She left 2 months ago. Took everything and disappeared. I've been couch hopping. Then I ran out of couches. I didn't say anything. I wanted to slam the door in his face. But that baby, she was looking at me with these big, watery eyes. She didn't ask for any of this. You stole from me, I said. You humiliated me. You turned our parents against me. I know, he whispered. I've lost everything, man. Everything. Part of me wanted to tell him that was his fault. That he got exactly what he deserved. But Lily started crying loud and sharp and Wayne bounced her gently, trying to soothe her. I just need one night. Just tonight. I told him to wait on the porch. I walked into the kitchen and just stood there, breathing. My hands were shaking. My chest tight. I hadn't seen him in 4 years. I hadn't heard a word from him. And now he was here with a baby and I didn't know what to feel. I called my cousin, Todd. The one person I still talk to from back home. You're not crazy, Todd said. But if you let him in, set rules. One night. Lock everything down. So I did. I let him stay. Gave him the guest room and left a pack-and-play I bought for my girlfriend's niece last year. Gave him a blanket. Some food. That was it. That night, I locked my bedroom door. Next morning, I left early for work. When I got back, the house was still standing. Nothing was missing. He was still there. Day 3 came. Then day 4. He kept saying, just one more night. I've almost got something lined up. But I knew better. He was settling in. I told him he had until Friday. No more. That Thursday, I came home and found him sitting on my couch smoking. Are you serious? I said. In my house? He looked up red-eyed. Sorry. Just stressed. You're leaving tomorrow. I know. But he didn't leave. That night, I woke up to the sound of whispering. I cracked my door open and saw him pacing in the hallway talking to someone on his phone. His voice was low, but I caught a few words. He's loaded, no cameras upstairs, just need a day or 2, trust me. Something inside me snapped. I didn't confront him right away. Instead, I quietly shut the door and locked it again. The next morning, I left for work like normal, but I didn't actually go in. I parked 2 blocks away and waited. By noon, a beat-up gray Honda pulled into my driveway. A guy got out. Skinny, shady-looking, hoodie pulled tight. He walked straight to my front door. Didn't even knock. Just opened it. I called 911. I told them someone had broken into my home. Told them I had reason to believe he might be armed. I didn't lie. I just gave them the truth as I saw it. They got there in 10 minutes. I watched from down the block as 3 cruisers rolled up. Lights off. Cops went in. They came out with both men in cuffs. Wayne was screaming. The other guy looked high. I drove back as they were being loaded into the back seat. Wayne saw me and yelled, "You set me up. You piece of shit. That's your own blood." I didn't respond. I walked right past him and into my house. Nothing was missing, but I found Wayne's phone on the couch. I shouldn't have, but I looked. There were texts going back weeks with the guy. Plans. Conversations about selling stuff. He'd even listed model numbers for my TV and computer setup. There were pictures. He was gonna rob me again. Worse this time. I gave the phone to the police. Later that night, child services came for Lily. That broke me a little. She was just a baby. Hadn't done anything. I asked if she could stay with me temporarily and they said it didn't work like that, not until they did a full home study and background check. But they appreciated the offer. Wayne was charged with conspiracy to commit burglary and child endangerment. Turned out his friend was a felon with priors, which made it even worse. 2 days later, my mom called me from a new number. Her voice was cold. "You've destroyed him again," she said. "He did it to himself," I said. "You could have helped." I did. I gave him a place. And he tried to rob me again. People make mistakes. Twice. She hung up. I haven't heard from her since. 3 weeks later, I got a call from CPS. They wanted to know if I was still willing to take custody of Lily. I didn't say yes right away. I told them I needed time to think. The truth was, I didn't know what the right thing was anymore. I wasn't Lily's father. I barely knew her. But I couldn't stop thinking about the way she looked at me on that porch. Like I was her last shot at safety. And she hadn't done anything wrong. She didn't ask for any of this. I said yes. They started the process. Home visit. Background checks. Interviews. It took a few weeks, but they finally approved me as a temporary guardian. The day I brought Lily home, she clung to me like she remembered. That's when everything inside me changed. I got her a crib, toys, diapers. I learned how to warm bottles and clean up messes I never thought I'd be handling. I used my PTO and started working part-time for a while. And I felt proud, like I was finally doing something that mattered. Something good. Then came the letters. Wayne started writing from jail. Long, rambling pages full of blame. He called me every name in the book. Said I was a traitor. Said I stole his daughter like I stole his life. He never once said sorry. I didn't write back. Then one letter changed things. He wrote, "If you keep her, I'll make sure you regret it. You're not her blood. You're not her father. I'll get out and you'll pay." I turned that one over to the DA. It became part of the case. Threats. No remorse. It helped when they pushed for a longer sentence. Wayne got 6 years. He appealed. Lost. I didn't go to the sentencing. I didn't need to see him. A year passed. Lily turned 2. Started saying my name, well, a version of it. UNC. She started sleeping through the night. Smiling more. Laughing. I filed for permanent custody. And I won. Our parents didn't show up to the hearing. Not a call. Not a message. They'd made their choice. Wayne did try to fight it from inside, but he had no case. No job. No housing plan. No effort. A month after I got full custody, a letter showed up in my mailbox. No return address. It was just one sentence typed out, "She was never yours." I burned it. That was the last I ever heard from Wayne. Now it's been 2 more years. Lily calls me daddy now. She doesn't remember much about those early days. And I don't tell her. Not yet. Maybe someday when she's old enough. Sometimes I still see my parents in pictures that float around online. Church events. Weddings I'm not invited to. It hurts, but not as much as it used to. I made peace with the fact that blood doesn't mean loyalty. Wayne tried to destroy me twice. The first time, I let it slide. The second time, I didn't. And when the law stepped in, I didn't flinch. Some people say I should have helped him more. But I did. I gave him my roof, my food, my trust. And he spat on it. He got what he earned. And I got something better than revenge. I got Lily. She saved me from becoming bitter. She gave me a reason to stay strong. But make no mistake. If Wayne ever shows his face again, I'll remind him who raised his daughter. And who didn't.